Howdy everybody, it's Winterrah and I'm back finally. It's been a while since I've last made a video. I've been trying to figure out exactly where I want this channel to go since I've removed everything else from my channel, and I think I finally figured it out. If you don't know me, obviously you wouldn't know me from past videos, but I love The Sims, specifically The Sims 4. It's something that I'm very passionate about. So honestly, despite there being lots of simmers, lots of people making videos on this game, it only makes sense for me to start making videos about one of my favorite games. But anyway, I've been inspired by another simmer named Fantasia. She's been making videos making her own save file, and it's inspired me to show off the one that I've been working on. I've been making this like in my off time, just like whenever I felt like I wanted to build, but I've also been doing it on my Twitch. Link is in the bio if you want to follow me over there. I stream Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Saturday. But anyway, enough yapping about this. Here is my save file that I have so far. I've only really done Willow Creek so far, so yeah, we'll start in Crawdad Quarter. Okay, here is one of the first builds that I have. I did a renovation of the Willow Creek archive, and by renovation, I mean I completely rebuilt it from scratch. I didn't really care for how it looked before, and I wanted it to match the other builds that I've done over in this area, and I think it matches it pretty well. Let me show you around really fast. So right when you walk in, there's like a little study area. This is where you would like realistically check out the books and stuff, but obviously you don't really do that in The Sims, but it's just for aesthetic reasons. And then there's lots of bookshelves. There's a little reading area. This is the kid area for like children and toddlers and whatever. I put some like tablets down for the toddlers, some toys, some little seats. I did make sure to include toddler potties and a changing table for that reason. There's lots of bathrooms. Upstairs, there's lots of computers because if there's anything that I've noticed about The Sims is that whenever I go to a library, there's never enough computers. So I made sure to add lots of computers into the upstairs. And obviously lots of bookshelves. It's supposed to be a library after all. And then lots of just nice sitting area, some chess tables. Put some outdoor seating too, just in case. There is a technical third floor. I just didn't put anything up here just because I felt like it was a bit redundant and I met all the requirements for the library. As far as lot traits go, we have study spot, university student hangout, and fast internet. So that's the Willow Creek archive. Next we'll be moving to this lot right here. This lot right here is called Riverside Quarter. It's a restaurant. If you've ever been to a small town, you know of those like tiny, old looking family restaurants. You know what I'm talking about. This is exactly what I was inspired by. We have one of those in the town that I live in. We used to go there all the time. We only don't really go there because we don't really go out to eat that much anymore, but that's beside the point. So let me show you around. There's lots of outdoor seating in the front and in the back, but we'll get there. You walk in, there's a little sitting area. Here's the check-in counter. It is functional. I wanted it to be merged completely into the counter, but you can't do that because the Sims can't access it, which is rude. Over here is like the specials menu, a little fake phone, some business cards, a tip jar. Here's the bathroom. Again, changing table because it's realistic. In real life, people would be bringing their babies and stuff. You don't really do that in The Sims 4 because it's not functional with babies, but that's beside the point. And then there's lots of seating around. Here's where the waitresses and waiters go. Here's the kitchen in the back. And then speaking of the back, here's more seating outside. I wanted there to be lots of seating because it's a nice view back here. And then you go upstairs and we have some bigger tables and some smaller tables, more outside seating, overall cozy vibes. I wanted it to look like an older, more rustic building on the inside with the outside matching the rest of this little strip that's right here. There is, again, a tiny little third floor, but there's nothing in it, so I didn't bother putting anything there. As far as lot traits go, we have convivial, chef's kitchen, and sunny aspect. I did configure their outfits. I kind of just like left these alone basically, but I got rid of all the other ones. And then there is a custom menu. There's just like some regular drinks, no alcohol, or what you would think is alcoholic drinks. And then I tried to do a mix of like breakfast and then lunch and dinner foods, because these types of places always serve breakfast all day. So like in the appetizers, we got like yogurt and bread and fruit salad and different types of soups. Around here, we got like more comforting foods. We got like some roast chicken. We got eggplant parmesan, French toast, BLTs, grilled cheese, spaghetti, omelets. Just like really comforting home style food in my head. And then if you know anything about these places, you also know that they have cakes, ice creams, pies, you name it. So I gave them lots of those. I also put the waffles in here because the waffles don't show up in main course or appetizer. So I put them in the dessert, even though you would realistically eat waffles more so for like a meal than a dessert, at least here in the United States. So yeah, there's different types of pie, there's lots of cake, there's cheesecake, you name it. So that is Riverside Quarter, and then we're gonna go to my Blue Velvet renovation. Here we have the Blue Velvet that I renovated. I turned it from a nightclub to a lounge. In my head, Willow Creek is a bit more classy and it doesn't have the space for a nightclub, because nightclubs in my head are like really loud, bumping music, lots of drinks and stuff. A lounge in my head is like listening to like live music and then listening to like comedy and stuff. So that's what I try to do with this. So right when you walk in, there's just some tables, the bar's over here, and then I made a stage for the live music. I put a piano because I didn't want Sims to be playing the piano and a violin at the same time, just because they don't technically play them together. If they did, that'd be cool, but they would like, realistically, they'd have like a jazz band up here playing some like jazzy music, because it's that type of vibe it is. There's a little sitting area over here and then a bathroom. There is an outside that has a dance floor and stuff, so you could turn it into something else, but I wanted to change it from a nightclub to a lounge just because I felt like that fit better. And then you go upstairs, there's another bathroom, big chandelier, and then up here is where the comedy club is. So here you would like, realistically, you'd buy tickets and then come up here and go to watch people do comedy. And then obviously outside there's lots of like seating on both balconies. The only ones that don't are these two, but you could always just have your Sims just like walk out here and relax. I also made all of the lights except for the candles and these overhead lights blue, because ironically it wasn't very blue in here when I was renovating it. So I tried to keep like the same vibe as the Blue Velvet before, but just making it a little bit nicer. When it comes to lot traits, we have convivial, great acoustics, and romantic aura. Speaking of romantic aura, next we are going to this lot over here, my wedding venue. The last place in Crawdad Quarter is Willow Creek Weddings. I decided to change the museum to a wedding venue. At first I didn't know what I was going to build, but then I thought doing a wedding venue would be good, considering innately in the game, if you have wedding stories, there's only one, and that's in Tartosa. And to me, it's not really realistic to travel all the way around the world, because you know, even though it's easy to travel in The Sims 4, you know that Tartosa and Willow Creek are not anywhere near each other. So to make things a little bit more realistic, I decided to build a wedding venue in Willow Creek. And I think it turned out very nice. Let's show you around. Upstairs, after you walk in the door, but we'll get there in a second, there's just like a little, I don't want to call it an office, but I guess kind of foyer, I guess. Same with down here, but upstairs. I put a computer because you know damn well that people be forgetting to buy their cakes and stuff, so you need a computer. And if your Sims need fun, they can have a computer to get their fun up too quickly. There's some bookshelves. Over here is like the main bathroom that would be attached to this room, but it's not technically attached. But I put a shower and a bathtub in case your Sims get stinky, so they're not ruining the vibes. There is a toilet. It's just hidden behind the bookshelves. Over here is like the dressing room where your Sims would get ready. So there's a closet for like their outfits. I put a massage chair so your Sims can get their nails done for their wedding. I put a bed for obvious reasons. And then a little vanity so they could do their makeup and stuff. And then around a bunch of different places, I put cameras and these little subject marks down, so you have good photo places for your Sims. Because if you're anything like me, I love taking pictures of my Sims, especially on important moments like their weddings or them having a baby. It's very nice. So yeah, that's the upstairs. Downstairs, you walk up the stairs, and then here's another little area. If you have like at least 3 Sims in the house, you could have the couple sitting here doing like some cute romance interactions, and then somebody else could take the picture, assuming that the partners are in the same household. If not, as long as you have another person, they can take the picture of them being cute. Or if you are like me and you have poses, you can pose them on this bench in front of this. So here's another picture spot, but you'll walk in. Here's again the little foyer area, just a little table with some flowers. Here's like where the guest book would be. Obviously it's not functional, but we can pretend it is. Through this door is where the reception is. So here's the dance floor. I put some I did a very white and gold theme for this because I thought it was nice and fancy. I put a big dance floor here and lots of big chandeliers. Over here is like a wedding present table, so you can put like your gifts up there, or you can have them open gifts and stuff. Like I said, dance floor, some big flowers everywhere. Again, another photo spot, so your Sims can hopefully do their first dance on the dance floor. And then there's lots of tables around. This is like the sweetheart table where the couple would sit. And I left it bare, so then you can put the cake on here so they can cut it easier. And then over here is a buffet table with the fountain, and then the buffet table with the champagne. Through here is just a simple bathroom. Outside, through these doors over here, this is where they would have like cocktail hours, so they can like hire a mixologist and they can get drinks and they can sit around. I put some like little heaters in case it's cold, but there's some with chairs, some without, because they would just be like standing there. Sims probably wouldn't, but in real life they would. We'll get to the main attraction in a minute, but there's some stairs that go down into the garden area. Another photo spot because this is just so pretty. And then if you wanted to, another photo spot would be on the swing set. You can either pose them or just like have them sit together and be cute. And then for funsies, I put a wishing well, because why not? It sounded like a good idea, and it kind of fit the vibe. The main attraction, I have to put my walls up for this, is that you walk through here and then you go through these big doors to where they get married. Again, another camera for them like walking down the aisle. Lots of chairs, lots of pretty flowers, and an archway, big huge chandeliers, a piano for live music. I put these little heart things around because the gapping between the windows looks so weird, but I wanted these pretty windows because they fit together so perfectly. That is Willow Creek Weddings. The lot traits here are romantic or a party place and sunny aspect. Next, I will show off my family-friendly park. So here is my family-friendly park. I built this a while ago, but it's like one of the best parks that I've ever built, especially for Willow Creek. So I'm really proud of it. Over here we have a pond with some of these little fishy thingies. I have not figured out how to actually use these in game because they never work for me, but maybe they work for other people. Over here we have some chess tables and some regular tables. We have some vending machines so you can get food, and then we have the bathrooms. I made sure to put toddler potties and again changing tables because there is stuff that your toddlers can do here, and infants, so makes sense for them to have those here. It's just a simple bathroom. Over here is some grills, some more tables, but under here is the important part. So you know how at parks they have those like big cement slabs that are covered? That's what this is supposed to be for like birthday parties. So I put some picnic tables, and then I put like this table for the birthday cake and some presents and whatever, and then I put fairy lights and some speakers around. You can obviously decorate it with like balloons and stuff, but I thought this just looked nice as it was. Over here though is the one of the main things, and that's the playground area. I put these like rugs down to make it look like blankets, and then toys, like kids were playing with toys. I put some like little infant thingies so your infants can play. I put the toddler playground thingy for the toddlers. There's a pirate ship, a tent, monkey bars, swing sets, and even a dollhouse. And then there's some benches for like the parents to sit and watch. And then there's more benches, and in the middle of the park, there's a fountain. I think it looks very nice for a park, and it's one of my favorites, especially to bring kids to because there's lots of stuff to do. Next, I will be showing off this duplex I built. So this is the Foundry Cove duplex. Technically, the lot is on the wrong way because the front of the lot is over here. But to me, that's silly. Why would you have literally the front of all of these lots be like, so like the front of this lot is over here. The front of this lot, obviously here. Front of this lot here. Front of this lot here. Why is this one the only one that's facing this way when there's no other houses that are facing that way? So that's silly to me. But whatever. A duplex felt like the perfect fit. So I'll give you a tour of each side. Over here is like an artist's apartment. I'm imagining a male who's single but has a dog. Lives over here by himself. So he's got, the color scheme is based off of this rug right here. So yellow, blue, and green. Like this like greeny, tealy color. It was gonna be like mostly yellow because I wanted to do the yellow door and the yellow windows. And then over here I wanted to do the green. But I really like this rug. Over here is the kitchen. Very cluttered, very cute. Here's the dog bowl. I put a piano here because I didn't know what else to put there. I put a little shoe thingy here, just a TV, some books. Here's his art studio. This is when I first got the artist loft kit, so I used it a lot here. Yeah, here's his little easel, a little bench with some stuff. I put a closet here. It's probably not accessible, but I imagine he puts like extra supplies in here. Some paintings. I put a little still life that he's probably painted or in the middle of painting. A lamp. I put the decoration box here. So here's his bathroom. Very simple. Nothing too exciting there. In his bedroom, I really like his bedroom. So here's his bookshelves. I put a doggy bed, a little comfy chair. Again, the color scheme was inspired by this rug because I never used this rug and I think it turned out so pretty. I put these paintings up. In my head, he painted these, but he really didn't because they came with cats and dogs. We used this bed from Businesses and Hobbies. I use the same bed. Bruh. I use the same bed for both of them. It's fine. I use this bed a lot. It's a really nice bed. And then I gave him a computer desk, a plant, some curtains, and then the closet. There's a sliding glass door that leads out to the teeny tiny porch. So I just put some chairs and then like this little lemonade tray. And then there's stairs that go down to a little patio and little green section. I gave him a hot tub, a little table with an umbrella, a grill. I wanted to put a doghouse over here so bad because it would be so nice for the little doggy to have his own little place to sit when it's hot out, but he wants to be outside. So I just put a pet bed and then I put some toys. And then there's a little gate that leads to the pool that's behind the house that both of these tenants share. Back around the front of the house to this side, the green side, you walk right in to a little gaming section. Over here, who lives here is a single lawyer mom with her 2 daughters. Her hobbies include gaming, which is why there's a big gaming PC set up right here. The color scheme was based on this chair. So the pink, the blues, and then the greens and teal. I gave them just a teeny little couch, but I wanted all 3 spots to be accessible, so I made this one of the lounging spots. And then gave them a little ottoman. And then there's just some like board games, as if they play board games a lot, because they probably would. There's a little game console, TV, this cute little kitchen with an ice cream maker. Yeah, just like a cute little kitchen. Again, the gaming setup. I put the little parenthood board. And then over here is the girls' room, the share room. They have a little bunk bed. This one that lives on the top bunk is a reader. She loves reading, which is why there's like lots of books around and stuff. This bottom one, I have no idea what she likes because there's not really that much stuff in here. I couldn't fit very much in here, obviously, but they're very girly, very pink. So I gave them a little closet set up, a little nightstand, this little light I thought was cute, and it fit with the wallpaper and the rug very well. I gave them lots of plushies. I gave them this little rocket alarm clock to wake up. There are backpacks too under here with their matching lunch boxes, but you can't see it very well. I gave them a blur feet. I have no idea if they can actually reach it, but and then they each get their own little journal and then a little toy box. And that's their room. Again, same bathroom as this guy, just green. And then my favorite part of the house is the mom's room. It's so cozy in here, and I want this room for myself. Other than it's a little too beige for my taste, but I love this bedding. It's so pretty. I gave her just like cozy vibes. You might be seeing this empty bookshelf, and that's because once I actually get to making her, again, she's a single lawyer mom. I'm imagining she was too busy focusing on her career to worry about finding a partner to have kids with, so she decided to just do it on her own, which is why she's a single mom. And her girls aren't the same age, but they're very close in age. But I want to put pictures of like them as babies and stuff up here, so I have to make her and then do that. So that's why this is empty for now, but I wanted to show it off anyway because it's mostly done. Same with all these picture frames. And again, like I said, she's a lawyer, so I gave her the research and debate machine so then she can get her research and debate skill up without it being too difficult. And there's like a little calendar up here because she's probably very busy. Her kids are probably busy. Here's her closet, a little mirror, just like some cluttery stuff. Oh yeah, I put a little camera here because she probably takes lots of pictures. And I imagine she exclusively sleeps on this side of the bed, which is why there's stuff over here and nothing over here. It's mostly for aesthetic reasons, but yeah. And then you go back out here, back through these doors, and there's a little sitting area with a wind chime and a bird feeder, because I imagine she likes to sit out here with like her morning coffee and just enjoy the view. And there isn't very much out here, but there's some toys for the kids. There's a picnic blanket, either for herself or if she has a date, because she probably dates casually, but not enough to like have a partner. Maybe she'll find a partner. Who knows? I haven't really thought that far ahead. But there's another little umbrella table and a grill and another gate that goes out to the shared pool. I imagine the lore between these two is that he despises that they live there, mostly because the kids would probably be loud and then he wants his peace and quiet. Foundry Cove 1 is this lot, so I gave them the homie lot trait, child's play, and good schools lot trait. And then Foundry Cove 2 is this one, so I gave this one the home studio, natural light, and great acoustics. Because I imagine that he probably also likes playing the piano casually, and he does art for a living, so. But yeah, that's the duplex. One of the last finished builds I have for you is Riverside Garden. It's a businesses and hobbies building. Let me show you around so you can get the vibe. Down here, it's a little garden shop, so like pretend obviously all of these are for sale. I left these blank because I'm imagining that the owner of this makes flower arrangements, and so she's going to put the flower arrangements on these empty ones. And again, there's like little seedlings, little garden care stuff, some pots. I put some fertilizers here that they could sell, and then there's just like lots of plants everywhere. Over here is the little bathroom for the business. Oh yeah, and there's a little fake checkout counter and stuff. Over here is where the business actually like pops off. All of inside of these planters are all of the different flowers, because the big skill I want to be learned here is flower arranging, which is why there's some flower arranging tables and then lots of flowers. I also put bonsai trees because you can learn the gardening skill. I think you can learn both from it actually, flower arranging and gardening from it. I don't remember for sure. I put all the flowers in the pots inside the like greenhouse so then she can make her flower arrangements. And then I put a whiteboard so she can teach classes, because I imagine that's what she does. But through this door you go outside to the other part of the garden. All of these are like fruit trees and stuff. We got berries and fruits here. I think these are all veggies, and then some herbs and stuff. I didn't put every plant that's in the game because there's too many, but I put as many as I could because I wanted all this area to be like super lush and colorful and flowery too. So I do have it sectioned off. So like all of this is public space, and then over here is residential. There's a little door right here that leads to the stairs that go up to the little apartment loft. I'm imagining an older lady. I don't know if she's like an old lady, like an elder, but she's probably going to be an elder soon if she hasn't already become one. And I don't know if it's one or two. There might be two old ladies here. Or she has like a really close friend that she hangs out with all the time, because she has like two little chairs. But right when you walk up, there's a little bookshelf with some puzzles. I gave her a little puzzle table because I imagine that's what she likes to do when she's not working, is do some puzzles and probably some reading. I did like a little step up for the bed, and I put like the little twinkly lights on the ceiling because I thought they were pretty. And again, there's lots of plants everywhere in this place. Over here is her little TV area. I like this rug. It looks like grass and flowers, and then this obviously has flowers on it, so I had to use it. Again, more plants. Here's her little kitchen. I'm gonna do it like this because it's a little bit easier to maneuver. Her kitchen is so cute. I love these little shelves right here that I cluttered up. Oh, it's so cute. Yeah, that's her little kitchen. Over here is the little tiny bathroom that is functional. And then outside, there's a little table with some more plants around. It's where she can have her food or her little tea or whatever, because she has a little kettle too. But yeah, that's the little Riverside garden shop. It's right next to the pancakes house. I don't know if the vibe is the same, but I think it looks cute. So the lot traits for the Riverside garden are great soil, natural light, and sunny aspect, since I forgot to do it before. I lied. There is one more build that I can show you, and that is Parkshore Cemetery. But yeah, I don't know how I forgot about my cemetery that's located right next to the goth house. But here is Parkshore Cemetery. It's pretty self-explanatory. It's a cemetery. You walk in and there's graves. I tried to make them like mixed matched a little bit. So like some are like freshly dug, some aren't. And I put gravestones down, but you can always remove those and replace them with your own. And then on either side of the building there's crypts. In my head, this is the goth crypt. I also put benches around because obviously you would want to sit around and mourn and stuff. And then here's the building. We'll start with a tour. Outside, there isn't really much. I put one table, but that's about it. The door's here. Right when you walk into the little parlor area where you would have your funeral. Here's the podium. Here's a casket. Over here is a little memorial area. I put a piano to play some music. And then if you don't have anybody that can play piano, put a record player. Through these doors, there's the kitchen. Because to be honest, despite having life and death, I haven't really done anything with the funerals that much, so I don't really know what is required. I think the funerals are like the Love Struck date system, so you can pick what you are wanting to do for them. So I put a little kitchen in here so your Sims can get food and whatever. Unfortunately, the only best way that I could figure out where to put a bathroom down here is by doing it right off of the kitchen. There's toilet room, and then just a sink. And so unfortunately you have to walk through the kitchen to get there, but I don't think that's that big of an issue. Upstairs, though, is where the bar is. I'm imagining after they do the funeral proceedings, they could come upstairs, get a drink, listen to some sad music. There's another memorial thing, and then they can just like sit around and talk with like their family members, argue about the will, hoping that they'll be able to squeeze by this way or this way to get behind the bar, but we'll see. Again, there's a third floor, but I didn't do anything because it's just the tower. But that is Parkshore Cemetery. The traits we have are homey, peace and quiet, on hallowed grounds, and then we have the spooky lot challenge. Obviously, it's a cemetery. You gotta have ghosties walking around. And that's all I have for my save file at the current moment. I haven't really done much besides building. I haven't made any Sims yet. My plan is to fill up pretty much all of the houses. This one's gonna become another residential rental. This is like a big apartment building that's right by the Spencer Kim Lewis house. This is just a regular house across from the goth house. There's gonna be either another house here or something else. I don't know yet, but these are all gonna get renovated. These are all gonna get something. But I'm just slowly but surely working on it as I go. Anyway, that's all for today's video. Stay tuned. This is something that I am very happy to go through and do with you all. And yeah, I'm very excited. I hope that you have a cat-tastic day, and I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye.